have salt. Wait a minute, I spilled some. I'm very superstitious.
So meanwhile, Donald Trump pulls one of the hilarious campaign stunts of all time. And it's only hilarious because it's him, because it's a typical campaign stunt. There's nothing particularly weird or offbeat about it. This is what politicians do, right? They show up at barbecues, they show up in cowboy hats, they eat ice cream, they do all this stuff. He shows up and he works for McDonald's. And the reason this is funny is that Kamala Harris said she worked for McDonald's, and there is no record of her ever having done so.
Gee, that's too bad.
And of course, the other thing that's funny about it is that Trump eats at McDonald's, as you can tell by looking at him. Right? He eats at McDonald's, so he actually does. So they ask him why he's doing this. This is cut 6.
I love McDonald's. I love jobs. I like to see good jobs. And I think it's inappropriate when somebody puts down all over the place that she worked at McDonald's. It was a big part of her resume that she worked at McDonald's, how tough a job it was. She specifically worked at the French fry, where they make the French fries, and she talked about the heat. It was so tough. She never worked at McDonald's. McDonald's just confirmed that again, by the way. She never worked at McDonald's. In other words, she's lying Kamala.
So here's the thing about this, though. The only reason this went crazy, went viral on the news and on social media, is, first of all, he looks hilarious with the red tie and the apron. And he goes in and he learns how to make McDonald's fries, which, of course, is the best thing about McDonald's. And he's so comfortable with the people there who are all regular people working at McDonald's, and they're all colors and they're all, come from different places. And they're so comfortable with him. The guy showing him how to make fries is talking to the former president of the United States and maybe the future president of the United States. And he's just telling him how to make fries. You could never do that with Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris could never do it with them. It is just his ease with ordinary people and with being in that place where he actually eats. And remember, he ordered it. He had a big White House dinner, and he ordered the fries for that. He ordered McDonald's for that. Then he goes out to the window, and of course, hundreds of people show up because they want to get McDonald's from Donald Trump. And they show up, and here he is serving a meal at the window.
Well, that's a good-looking group. Hello, everybody. This is not a normal situation, is it? What a good-looking family. How did you produce those good-looking kids? Oh, they look like they look like you. How are you? Nice to see you. Thank you.
Right. Appreciate all the this order right here.
Thank you.
We'll have you about the county.
And there'll be no charge. Trump is paying for it. Is that okay?
2024.
Oh, you ordered some extra stuff.
Oh, okay, great.
This is all on Trump.
Oh, hold on.
I'm allowed to do that, right?
Yeah. Let's check and make sure it's everything you said it would be.
It's better be. It's going to be the best yet. I made it myself. This is fun. I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
Thank you.
It's wonderful, wonderful stuff. And the thing about it is that I think the thing about Trump is there is a part of him that's just a regular guy with $1 billion. I think there is a real part of him that is like this. And it just came off as authentic in a way that I don't think other politicians could have pulled off. And that drove, so let's just take a look at what he did. Typical campaign stop that he handled very well. He was very lovable and adorable and all this stuff. Let's take a look at how they reacted. New York Times, Kamala Harris and McDonald's, a college job and a Trump attack. Donald Trump is claimed without evidence because Donald Trump needs evidence, but Atlantic Monthly, no, they don't need evidence. Donald Trump has claimed without evidence that Ms. Harris never worked at the fast food chain. Her campaign and a friend say she did. They found one friend who remembered being told that she had eaten at McDonald's, and her campaign says so, and that debunks this, right? It's birtherism. Remember when Donald Trump said that Obama hadn't been born in the United States or questioned whether he'd been born in the United States? That was birtherism. This is birtherism meets burgerism. But they can't find any records of it either. In fact, McDonald's put out a corporate letter. I love their corporate letter. It said, McDonald's does not endorse candidates. We're not red or blue. We're golden. Though we are not a political brand, we've been proud to to hear former President Trump's love for McDonald's and Vice President Harris's fond memories working under the arches, while we in our franchises don't have records for all positions dating back to the early 80s. What makes 1 in 8 so powerful is the shared experience so many Americans have had. 1 in 8 people have worked at McDonald's. And, that's very interesting, because I think a lot of people who are in the higher strata have never met anybody who worked at McDonald's. I remember people working at McDonald's when it first opened when I was a kid, friends of mine, but after a while, you stop knowing people. If you've risen through the ranks, you stop knowing people who've worked at McDonald's. And so this is an actual real thing. Using the internet without ExpressVPN is like taking a call on a train or bus on speaker for everyone to hear. I hate when people do that. Don't let your personal business become everyone's business. Every single website you visit, every search you make, every article you read, your internet service provider tracks all of it. And they can legally sell your private browsing data to tech companies and advertisers without even asking your permission. I don't know about you, but I value my privacy. That's precisely why I use ExpressVPN and why I recommend it to my family, friends, and all of you. When you use ExpressVPN, your internet service provider can't see what websites you're visiting. Your data gets encrypted and routed through a secure VPN server, making it virtually impossible for companies to track and target you. Think of it as a shield for your digital life. And it couldn't be simpler to use. You just open the app, click one button, and you're protected. Even I can do that. It works on all your devices, your phone, your laptop, even your router, so everyone in your household stays secure. Secure your online activity today. Scan the QR code on screen, click the link in the description, or visit expressvpn.com/Andrew Klavan Show. That's expressvpn.com/Andrew Klavan Show, and you can get an extra 3 months free. expressvpn.com/Andrew Klavan Show. Now, what happens next? Democrat senators, just try to fathom the pettiness and humorlessness of this. Democrat senators led by Elizabeth Warren, Ron Wyden, and Robert Casey Jr. send a threatening letter to McDonald's. We write with concern regarding increases in fast food prices over the last several years and seeking information regarding McDonald's pricing decisions. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? They're bullying McDonald's, which employs 1 in 8 of the people which has employed 1 in 8 of the people in the country. While McDonald's is not the only fast food restaurant that has increased prices significantly in recent years, its dominant market position as the largest fast food chain in the United States has an outsized impact on American consumers. Unbelievable. And then suddenly the press has a report of E. coli caused by onions on a Big Mac. 1 person has died and 49 people have become ill following an E. coli outbreak linked to McDonald's Quarter Pounder hamburgers, which is not true. Oh, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Now, they found out about this E. coli, a month ago, that suddenly it came out. This is what they've got for this is what they have for an October surprise. And they're bullying McDonald's. What kind of thugs are these? It always got me. I know this is a little stupid thing, but it always got me that Melania Trump, when she was first lady, was never on the cover of a magazine. She's a very beautiful woman, and she was the first lady of America. She'd been elected, and not one fashion magazine would put her on the cover where they put on these glamour shots of Kamala Harris, these glamour shots of Jill Biden. And I don't mind them putting on the glamour shots of Joe Biden on magazines, but I mind because they're so petty. Everything they've done has failed. Everything they touch makes life worse in America. Everything they touch makes life worse in our cities. If black people continue to vote for the Democrats, all I can say is I don't get it. I do not get it, because they live in the cities that Democrats have ruined. Surely at some point they notice that they're not getting what they're voting for. Surely at some point blacks start to say, you know what? This is ridiculous. We did better under Trump. But the pettiness, the way they cling to power, instead of saying, you know what, we're going to change our policies. Even Jimmy Carter changed his policies, but they will not do it. Obama will not do it. Biden wouldn't do it. And Kamala Harris sure as hell's not going to do it. What is it they think they've got hold of that is so good, so worthy, that it's worth destroying the Supreme Court for, that it's worth destroying the filibuster for, that it's worth rewriting? They want to have the federal government rewrite the electoral laws. They want illegals to vote. What is it they think they've got that is worth defending to that extent. It was worth destroying the country to defend. You would think at some point they would say, well, we want to make people's life worse. I don't know. What is it wrong with this Constitution that it stops us from making people worse? So that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a guy who goes out and can work at McDonald's. I've always said one of my favorite moments of the Trump presidency was that time a Marine's hat blew off, the honor guard's hat blew off, and he chased it down without thinking, because that is who he is to some degree. He's a guy who thinks he's just like any other guy, except richer and more powerful and amazing because he's Donald Trump. They kept saying this is a vibes election. It's not a policy election. I think it is a policy election. I think they don't understand how much people now understand about policy that they didn't understand when they were just listening to the lies on ABC, CBS, and NBC. I think they're getting more off X than they were ever getting before. But if it's a vibes election, Trump is winning that too. If you love Andrew Klavan as much as I do, like and subscribe, and also subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show wherever you get your podcasts.